G'day, Dylan O'Donnell here from the Byron Bay Observatory. Are you tired of taking the same photos of space that everyone else takes night after night? Well, I've just photographed something new. New for me, it's something I've never taken a photo of before. It's not a nebula, it's not a galaxy, it's not a planet, it's not one of the usual suspects. I hadn't even heard of this type of object, let alone imaged it. And when I went to Google Images to see if I could find other examples of this particular target, there was a handful. I really couldn't find very many at all, and that's really exciting. When you photograph something for so many years, the same old things, to find something new to image is quite novel. And it's one of the advantages of having a big boy telescope, because I can zoom in on tiny little things, so suddenly the available number of targets to me just opens up. There's lots of small exotic things in space. Community, on this episode we're taking a deep dive into the small, fascinating and nameless Super Bubble N70. My name is Dylan O'Donnell and you're watching Star Stuff. If you want to take the road less travelled, instead of shooting what everybody else is shooting, you can go exploring. In NINA and SGP and other programs, they'll often have a framing tool with access to survey data. In this case, I knew I wanted to shoot south near the Large Magellanic Cloud and Small Magellanic Cloud galaxies because they're surrounded by small but interesting nebulosity that aren't imaged as often as the popular stuff. I was looking at regions around the Large Magellanic Cloud and I saw this little circle and said, what the hell is that? What the f? I shot it over 3 nights in hydrogen alpha and oxygen 3 and used photometric colour calibration in PixInsight to produce a fairly true colour representation. Like I always do, I agonised for days about whether I'd processed it right and then proceeded to reprocess it over and over until I experienced severe eye fatigue and mental degradation, but ended with something that looked as natural and detailed as my exposures were able to manage. And then I looked deep into its soul. Regular PixInsight annotation revealed nothing really, except that the faintest stars I could pick up, particular imagery, were about Mag 19. Pretty faint. Now, in the 1950s, Carl Hanese made a catalogue and called it Hanese 70. This thing is 300 light years across and is so big we can see it from another galaxy. It's listed as the 27th largest nebula on Wikipedia. eventually develop life. If you're in the southern hemisphere,